Today's show, Your Community Connection. We are overlooking Morehouse Park, which must mean that we are somewhere in the Owatonna Public Utilities building, which indeed we are. And we are here today with Jared Hendricks. Welcome to the Owatonna Today show, Jared.
Thanks, Leanne.
So it's wonderful to be able, it's a bright sunny day today, so the view from up here is just absolutely magnificent. We're looking towards the railroad tracks. There is some open water on the river, and once in a while you may see a few ducks fly through the picture. So, and it's a new year, and new year brings perhaps new changes.
New changes, new resolutions maybe for a homeowner.
Right.
So that's one of the things I want to talk about today is maybe you've got some energy resolutions for this year.
Okay. Now the new changes at the Owatonna Public Utilities are your hours of operation or business hours. Do you want to run down those for us?
Sure. So Monday through Wednesday, we're still open from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. We've reduced our hours on Thursday. They are now 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Thursdays.
Okay.
And we've extended our Friday hours by another half an hour, so that'll be from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Fridays. So
Okay.
Monday through Wednesday, 8 to 5. Thursday, 8 to 6. Friday, 8 to 4.
Okay. And if people cannot remember all of that at once, all of your hours are listed on your website.
They are listed on our website. You'll also see that in our new revised newsletter that will be going out.
Oh, okay.
Or should be out, I should say. And we do have them on our door on a hanger right now, reminding customers if they got up to the door what our new hours are as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. So that takes care of the new changes here at the Public Utilities. What about the New Year's resolution that you would hope all of the utilities customers would consider?
Absolutely. Of course, much of what I do is helping customers reduce their energy consumption, which means reduced energy bills, reduced utility bills.
Which we all love.
Absolutely. I know I like to have a little bit extra money in my budget. Maybe that's a little bit more travel time, a little bit more spending money, maybe paying down something else that you want to pay down on a little bit quicker. So
True.
that's one of the things I like to do is help people reduce how much they're paying in their utility bill. And one of the great ways they can do that is to start out with a house call energy audit. House call energy audit is a way to have an auditor come in and help you identify some of the ways you can save energy in your home. They'll also help you go through kind of the costs of saving those different, or on those different pieces to save energy, kind of help you prioritize those. So one of the first things they do is when they come into your home is they set up this contraption in your door and they actually pull a vacuum on your house or pressurize your house in one way or another to see how much air leaks in and out of your home.
Through where?
That could be through your attic, that could be through a knee wall, that could be through a cantilevered floor in a split level, or your joist, your rim joist between your basement and your main floor. It could be from a number of places. The most common place is the attic though. And that's the first place that you want to look for air leaks as well. And if you think about it, you've got warm air in the house, and that warm air wants to go up. If that warm air is going up and it finds a hole into your attic, it's going to go up into your attic, it's going to escape to the outside cold elements, which means it's going to draw air into the home from another location. That might be through a window, that might be through a door, might be through an outside wall outlet. It could be from a number of places. But usually when you feel drafts on those, it's an indication that you might have an attic air sealing problem.
Oh.
So they'll do that blower door test to see how much air is leaking from your home. From there, they'll do a number of different things. One of them is to go up into your attic and take a look at the insulation in your attic. They'll see if you have enough insulation or not. They'll also take a look around to see if you've got any penetration issues where that air is leaking. A lot of the places that they look are any plumbing penetrations. There's a vent that goes through your attic for your plumbing.
True.
There's also wiring that might go up into your attic. A chimney will go through your attic if you have an older furnace or water heater that doesn't have the direct vent, or if you've replaced it and didn't have the chimney replaced and filled in, you could still have that penetration that's allowing air to flow even if you're not using that. So they'll look for those and help identify whether or not that's a problem in your home. Then they'll, of course, like I said, look at the insulation, recommend whether or not you need more insulation as well or not.
Okay.
If you think about how's the best way to save money on my heating bills, most people think right away, well, I should just put more insulation in my attic. And oftentimes that's a step to do, but the first thing to do is that attic air sealing. And that's why it's such an important part of the house call energy audit.
Okay. So now, is this something that we should be looking at if we have an older home that's, say, 15 years or older, or would this also be true of a newer construction home as well?
This can be true for any home. Some homes that were built in the 40s and 50s have already been worked on. Some homes that were built in the 90s need work. Some homes that were built recently, things might have shifted or moved. Your insulation might have settled over time, depending upon what insulation that you've used. So any home can potentially benefit from a house call energy audit. It's not just those pieces that they're looking at either. They'll go through and take a look to see if you're getting a clean and tune done on your furnace or air conditioner. If you haven't been, they'll probably recommend having that done.
Right.
Those help them run more efficiently over time. They'll also help that equipment run longer and last longer in your home, so you don't need to replace them as often.
Okay. So now you said that you need a certified person to do this. Tell us about that.
We contract with an outside vendor, GA Ernst & Associates, to do the energy audit itself.
Okay.
You might recall an episode last year where we actually walked through with an energy audit with GA Ernst & Associates.
That's right, we did.
And he did the blower door test on that home, and he looked at the furnace, and he looked at all sorts of different things. And if I recall correctly, he even found an issue in the bathroom vent where there was a lot of cold air leaking in the bathroom vent.
Yes, he did.
So that's some of the things that he'll do during the energy audit. He'll use that thermal camera and look around to see if there's leaking cold or hot air. But he's been trained to do this. He knows what to look for. He does this day in and day out. It's not something that all of us have that equipment to do. We don't have the expertise to go and look at all of these things, and he really does have that. Now, you also talked about qualifying contractors. That reminds me of a couple of rebates that we have available for customers that do have a house call energy audit.
Yes.
One of those rebates is attic air sealing, as I've already talked about. You can get a rebate for attic air sealing if your attic needs that. You can also get rebates for certain wall insulation if your home needs that. And you'll qualify for a higher rebate if you have a qualifying contractor insulating your attic. Of course, you can always have an insulation done in your attic and qualify for a rebate, but it would be lower than if you used one of our qualifying contractors after having a house call energy audit done on your home.
Oh, I see. So it's not that you necessarily need to have the energy audit done to qualify for this additional rebates.
You would actually have to have the energy audit.
Oh, you would
done.
too?
Yep.
Okay,
And
because that uncovers your problems
that
for you.
helps you uncover
Okay.
those problems and confirm that they are indeed a problem. There's some times where he goes in and there's plenty of insulation and the air sealing is just fine, and he might recommend other things. Another thing he'll go do is look at your water pipes. He'll recommend insulating hot water pipes if they're not insulated already.
Okay.
He'll look at light bulbs in your home. You might be using incandescent or halogen lights still, and he might recommend switching out to an LED light source depending upon what type of light you have. You'll also receive a LED light with your audit if you do have some of those older halogens or incandescent light bulbs. You will receive one of those. Give it a try, see how you like it. LEDs have come a long ways.
They really have.
When you turn them on, they're on.
They're actually
They don't
on,
have
right.
to warm up. And that's a wonderful thing about LEDs versus the compact fluorescents that a lot of people had some bad experiences with, and we don't want that. So we want to be able to provide that LED for you with your house call audit so that you can try it before you go and spend the money on it.
Okay. And so then how do we set up an energy audit?
You can call our main number, 507-451-2480. Talk to one of our customer service representatives, let them know that you would like that house call audit done.
Okay.
They'll get your name and phone number and contact GA Ernst & Associates. You'll receive a call from them to schedule that audit. They do want you to be there for it. A lot of the value of that audit is actually spending time getting to know what they're looking at, asking them questions. We recommend blocking off about a 2-hour period for that house call audit.
Okay.
They can go longer or shorter depending upon how much interaction you're having with the auditor that day. If you're asking a lot of questions, you'll get a lot more benefit, but it might take just a little bit longer.
Okay. And you actually have, if you go through OPU for this, you actually have reduced rates.
We do.
Which is, as I look at the brochure here, pretty amazing. Standard house call is a $300 value, and if you go through OPU, it's how much?
It's a $50 copay for our customers to have
Wow.
a house call. The Owatonna Public Utilities covers the rest of that. You can also opt for the thermal pictures to come with your audit. That's a $125 cost to the customer.
Okay,
Most customers don't get that though, but it is an option available as well. And you can make that decision at a later time after talking with the auditor more as well.
Okay.
But for most people, it's a $50 copay, and Owatonna Public Utilities covers the remainder of that $300 value.
So actually, you should take advantage of this, because if you don't, you're actually leaving money on the table.
That's
I mean,
right.
for $50, you're going to find out what tweaks you need to do, and just think of the energy savings that you can see in your home.
Absolutely.
Wow.
You know, and another way to even save just a little bit more money is we do have a workshop coming up again on March 9th.
Absolutely.
Starting at 5:30 p.m. here at the Owatonna Public Utilities. Look in your February newsletter for more information on that and how to register. But if you do attend a House Call Energy Audit workshop, they'll walk through a lot of those no-cost, low-cost savings tips, explain the audit in more detail, and you will only pay $25 copay for that audit instead of the normal $50 copay.
Better yet, wow. Well, thank you so much, Jared, for all of this great information about having an energy audit of your home. And we look forward to having you back on the show in another couple of months.
Thanks, Leanne.
And audience members, please stay there. We'll be right back after a word from our sponsors.